Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're diving into something that sounds pretty futuristic, the programmable lock. It's this total revolution in cryptography that's really changing what data security even means.
So here's the big question, right? It's the fundamental conflict of our entire digital lives. We all want these amazing, smart, personalized services, and they need our data to work. But at the same time, we absolutely demand our privacy. It feels like this constant tug-of-war between getting cool stuff and keeping our information safe.
You know, for the longest time, encryption worked basically like a digital safe. Your data was either locked up tight, super secure but totally useless, or it was unlocked and completely exposed for anyone to see. It was this all-or-nothing choice, forcing you to pick between privacy and, well, actually using your data for anything.
But what if you didn't have to make that choice? What if that was a false dilemma? That single question has sparked this brand new mission in the world of cryptography. We're seeing a huge shift away from just hiding information to actually being able to use it securely. And that's how we get beyond that simple digital safe. The new goal, the whole point, is to create that programmable lock we talked about. One that lets us do complex things, run calculations, and interact with our data, all while it stays completely encrypted and unreadable to outsiders. So how do we actually build this programmable lock? It sounds like magic, but it's not. Cryptographers have developed this really powerful toolkit of new methods. So let's open up that toolkit and look at 3 of the most important tools that are making this whole new future possible.
Okay, first up in our toolkit, Format Preserving Encryption, or FPE. It solves a problem that might sound kind of boring, but believe me, it is a massive headache in the real world. The question is, what do you do when your awesome new security system completely breaks all of your old but totally essential software?
And this quote from way back in 1997 just nails the problem perfectly. Regular encryption turns, say, a 9-digit social security number into a long, garbled mess of letters and symbols. But the database is expecting 9 digits. So what happens? It crashes. It's like trying to jam a hamburger into a slot made for a T-bone steak. It just doesn't fit.
And that is exactly where FPE comes in. It's the fix. It encrypts a 9-digit number into another 9-digit number. It looks the same. This means companies can add powerful modern encryption to their old systems without having to spend a fortune rebuilding everything. It lets them create secure test databases that actually work. And it keeps the data structure intact so it can still be used and sorted.
And this isn't just some abstract idea, okay? FPE is incredibly practical. This chart here shows the setup time for one method. Prepping to encrypt a 4-digit PIN takes just 5.5 milliseconds. It is lightning fast and super efficient for those small but absolutely critical pieces of data.
Our second tool, homomorphic encryption, is where things get, well, a little mind-bending. The best analogy is a magic sealed glove box. You can put locked items inside, and you can reach in with the gloves and work with them, combine them, add them, whatever, without ever opening the box or seeing what's inside. When you're finished, you pull out a new locked result. Only the person with the original key can open it and see the final answer.
The applications for this are just incredible. Think about e-voting. Every single vote is encrypted. The election officials can then take all those encrypted votes and mathematically add them together. They just get one single encrypted blob of data at the end. They decrypt that one final number, and boom, there's the election result. No one ever saw a single individual vote. It's a way to guarantee both total voter privacy and the integrity of the election.
And the possibilities from there are just huge. I mean, companies could analyze sensitive medical records in the cloud without ever exposing the raw data. You could have electronic auctions where every single bid stays a complete secret until the very end. You could even build totally private digital cash systems. And that brings us to our third and final major tool, the Zero Knowledge Proof, or ZKP. This one is like having a secret handshake that proves you're in the club, but you never actually reveal the handshake itself to anyone watching. You get to prove that you know something without revealing the secret information itself.
And here's the really crucial part. There's a core guarantee in ZKPs called soundness. And what that really means is you can't cheat. You just can't. You can't fake a proof or trick the system. If your statement isn't true, it's mathematically impossible to generate a valid proof for it.
So what can you actually do with this magic trick? Oh, so much. You could log into a website by proving you know the password without ever sending your password across the internet. You could prove to a bank that you earn enough money for a loan without telling them your exact salary.
Or you could prove you're over 18 to get into a bar without showing your ID with your name, address, or your actual birthday on it.
And believe it or not, the toolkit doesn't stop there. It's always growing with even more specialized tools. You've got things like functional encryption, which lets you create special keys that only reveal one specific piece of information. Imagine giving a doctor a key that only lets them see if a medical scan shows a tumor and nothing else. Or searchable encryption, which lets you search all your files in the cloud without the cloud provider ever knowing what you were searching for.
So we have this incredible toolkit. What does it all add up to? What does it really mean for our day-to-day digital lives? What does a world actually built on this kind of technology look like?
Well, it means we're heading towards a future with something called self-sovereign identity. That's where you, not some big company, own and control your digital credentials, and you only share the absolute bare minimum needed for any interaction. It means we can train powerful AI on sensitive data without violating privacy, and it helps build truly secure digital democracies and makes it way easier for companies to comply with data privacy laws.
Ultimately, the real goal here is to completely change how trust works online. We can finally move away from a system where we have to trust big institutions, not to misuse our data, and move towards a new system where our privacy and security are guaranteed by the unbreakable laws of mathematics.
And all of this brings us back to one last, really powerful idea. What does this new level of control actually mean for you personally in your life?
Seriously, think about it for a second. If you could prove that you were qualified or old enough or trustworthy without just handing over all your private documents and personal information, what part of your digital self would you take back? What would you reclaim? These technologies, they're not just about security. They're about shifting power back to us, the individual. Thanks for joining this explainer.